Hey guys, I'm trying to catch Banjo. I'm in the dark. I'm trying to catch the dog so that he doesn't bark and drive us crazy. And he knows I'm trying to catch him. And there goes the grandfather clock. Good morning. We are hitting day 3. I got him. I got the little monster. I'm going to put him away. Hang on. All right. No. You in there. Okay. Sorry about that. Good morning. It is day 3 and it's a little hectic around here. Hurricane Florence is supposed to come in, and I'm going to get still in just a minute. I'm going to stand here in the kitchen. Hurricane Florence is coming in, and it's day 3. And on page 124, I talk about, that's called Maybe Tomorrow. And so for day 3, you've been doing this for a few days. Some of you have talked about keto flu. Some of you have talked about how you felt kind of tired. Some of you have asked, so what can we have besides pickles or pickle juice? I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of pickles or pickle juice either. So if you're feeling a little tired, feeling a little keto flu, then certainly you can have some broth. Bone broth is great, especially if you put the bones in the crock pot and let them go. But if you don't have the homemade kind, you can buy them in the store. The salt is what's important. You want to really add sodium. I know that's contrary to what physicians tell us. I know that salt has gotten a bad rap over the years, but I also know that when you're following a ketogenic diet, your body will spill salt. And as it starts to spill salt, you want to make sure that you replace it. So I'm just going to sit down. Good morning. We've been running a little bit. So today is the 3rd day of our 28-day guide. And I put in the heading on this, what you do today matters most. And, you know, I think what's interesting, or what we have to think about when we say what you do today matters most, is and I talk about this in the daily guide in the book, it's a cumulative effect. Today plus yesterday plus the day before that is what helps us to see success. And I know it's day 3, you're eating different, and people may be questioning you. People may at work or family may be saying, are you following that diet? It's not safe. You may be feeling kind of bad with respect to keto flu, and I get all that. So day 3, day 3 can be hard because you're still not there. You may not be seeing the advantages yet. But I'll tell you what happened to me on day 3. Day 3 was like a magical day for me. And I'm sorry, I'll get still. Day 3 was like a magical day for me. It was the first time I missed a meal, the first time I wasn't hungry. And so what was interesting was I was at work. And I tell this story quite a bit because I have spent my entire life being hungry. You know, I've been obese since I was 3 years old. And I was always hungry. I was the kid like sneaking cheese out of the fridge, like thinking nobody would notice. And always hungry. And day 3, I was at work and we had a huge project I was working on, huge. And so a lot going on. And I remember standing at my desk and I had a stack of papers and I was kind of in between thoughts. I was like, switching from one thing to the next. And I was standing at my desk and I thought, oh, I'm a little hungry. And I looked to see what time it was. And like I said, I've been super focused on getting stuff done. And I said, I'm going to see what time it is. It was 3 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock. And I'd had breakfast that morning, but I had not had lunch. And so I was like, I missed lunch. I mean, it was one of those kinds of things like, I'm just now hungry. I had breakfast at like 7 a.m. and I'm just now hungry. It was such a momentous thing. I mean, this is a big deal. I'd heard people talk about missing a meal. I'd heard people talk about not being hungry, but I'd never experienced it. It was like seeing a shooting star for the first time. You know, I'd heard people talk about shooting stars, but seeing it is very different when you actually get to see one. And so I called my best friend, and we've been best friends since we met in 1st grade. We've been great friends ever since. I called her. She lives in Charlotte, and I said, you aren't going to believe what just happened to me. And she's like, what? And I said, I missed a meal because I wasn't hungry. And she got it. She got it. She has always kind of struggled with her weight. She's never really been obese, but she's always eaten low fat and tried to pay attention to calories and things like that. And so when I described to her missing a meal because I was so busy at work and not thinking about food, she understood the significance of that. So here's what I tell you. I committed, when I started doing my first 28 days, I committed to 2 weeks. I didn't commit to 4 weeks. You guys are brave. You're braver than I am. I committed to 2 weeks. And I said, I'm going to do this come hell or high water, right? And, some of us who were in this area for Florence may actually get hell and high water. We don't know yet. But people are saying to me, well, the hurricane's coming. Should I just wait and not do the 28 days? Guys, I'm going to be keto throughout this hurricane. We can make a ton of excuses, or we can doubt ourselves. We can say, oh, well, there's a trip coming up. There's a birthday party. There's always going to be a trip or a birthday party. There's always going to be a hurricane. There's always going to be some kind of storm, where it's a physical storm or a mental storm. There's always something. This is what I do. This is how I eat. It's just one of those things I would not do. The interesting thing is, while everybody else has been super freaked out about having enough food and bread's off the shelves, for me, I'm like, well, I'm not so worried about it. One, because to be fair, I have a gas cooktop, so I can do I can make pretty much anything. But I have muffins in the freezer. We have all kinds of food. We have canned chicken, canned tuna. It's not going to be what we want to eat if we're without power for an extended time. But all of it's keto. I've got butter. Trying not to do dairy. That's another thing I need to write a post about. Grace has challenged me, Mom, let's do dairy-free. Let's do a month of dairy-free. And so earlier on Monday, she said, Mom, did you have coffee this morning? And I said, yes. And she said, with cream? And I said, yes. And she said, you cheater. And I said, oh, she's right. And so yesterday I didn't have any coffee at all day. And this morning I had my coffee with a little bit of almond milk. And we are using butter with our dairy-free because it's not generally problematic for people. But anyway, so Grace has got me doing that. So that's my 28-day challenge. That's my challenge. But when I'm thinking about the day, and we had the Just for the Day posted in the group, but when you're thinking about today, think about how important it is that you see this through solidly for 2 weeks. I promise you. Now, we're doing a 28-day guide, but I promise you it takes you 2 solid weeks, 100% on plan, to really see a difference. You can't do this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, feel bad, eat a banana. Don't do that. Wednesday, go back to it. Thursday, and expect any kind of results or any kind of change in your body. Right now, your body is adapting to burning fat. And right now, your body's in a struggle. It doesn't really know what to do. It doesn't know if this is temporary or not. If you're noticing a change in your hunger levels, and however you're commenting that you are, that is phenomenal. That's fantastic. Because I always say, if you're hungry, you're doing it wrong. So you shouldn't be hungry. If you're hungry, increase your fat or lower your carbs. If I have too many carbohydrate or too much protein, I get hungry. And so don't mistake too. Another thing that happens, carbs make us feel tired. Carbs make us feel heavy. And so many of us, after decades of eating a low-fat, high-carb diet, we mistake that feeling, that insulin feeling of heavy and tired, for satiation. And it's different. It's very different when you're eating a ketogenic diet. Your hunger is going to be different. It's not going to be that same tired lethargic feeling that you're used to. So you should have a meal and still feel energy. You should not have a meal and feel tired. But so many of us kind of have come to expect that. And this is different. This is absolutely different. You're not going to say it just bluntly. You're not going to see a difference. You're not going to get an advantage to this if you don't give it 2 solid weeks. I know it's only day 3. The new and the shiny is worn off, particularly if you're worried about the storm that's coming. But you can do this. You can push through. And I promise you, if you're like me, it is so worth it. I can promise you that just pushing through, just getting through another 2 weeks, another 11 days, 10 more days, and we can do this. I promise. I'm here every single day. Now, in the storm, if I have power and I have internet connection, I'll be here. If I'm gone for a few days, I'll communicate the best way I can. And I can promise you, if I can communicate, I will communicate. My family says that when I die, they're going to put a cell phone in the casket. They're going to put a cell phone in the casket because if anybody can call back, it'll be me. So if I can get through, I will. Or just for today, remember that today plus yesterday plus the day before yesterday and the day before that, that all can equal better health when we're staying on plan. Just for today, I choose to do this one more day. Come on, y'all, just give me one more day because I want to see what tomorrow looks like when I stay on plan. I know what happens when I give up. I gave up a lot before, and I know what happens when I give up. Let's see what happens when we do this together for 28 days. Have a great Wednesday, y'all. Stay safe.